What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Younginz, the most unorthodox show on the globe. And as always, I am one of your hosts, Myra B. King.
And it's your boy Mojo in the building. We got a special guest with us today, sir. Let the people know who you are.
James Crunchtime Wilkins, professional boxer, trained with Roy Jones Jr., Donald Driver, Tommy Harris, a few legends in the NFL and boxing.
Oh, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Absolutely.
We're glad to have you. You say you train with Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, that's one of my mentors, one of my coaches, like a brother to me.
How did that come about?
Yeah, how's that?
Shit, honestly, I sat in the wrong seat in Madison Square Garden, and this lady, she had worked for Roy, and she was just talking to me about boxing. And at the time, I wasn't signed with nobody. And she asked me, she's like, you want to go train up there with Roy? And I was like, Roy Jones Jr.? I was like, hell yeah. 2 days later, Roy texted me. He's like, when can you come to my house and start training? I was like, yeah, crib? He's like, yeah. I was like, right now. And he put me on a flight the next day, picked me up from the airport and everything.
That's
and how many fights
man.
were you in at that point?
I think I was at like 4 fights. Yeah, I was in my 4th fight going into my 5th.
Okay. So he must have saw something in you to, like as well, like for you to like, hey, when can you come to my house and train? But so what was your upbringing like? What was it? So you're from New York, you said?
Yeah, Staten Island, New York.
Staten Island. What was it like growing up in Staten Island? Did you have it rough, or did you have how was your upbringing?
It was definitely rough. Like I grew up in Park Hill where Wu-Tang is from, so it was rough. And like we grew up in poverty or whatever, but I feel like it made me instead of breaking me, it made me. Like it showed me from a young age like what life was about. Like now, as I'm getting older, I read more, I write more. Like I always try to teach myself, because growing up in school, it was always just a teacher putting a paper in my face, just here, do this, do that. Like shut up. No, you can't go to the bathroom. Like I wasn't even learning. Like I had to teach myself.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got my brother from my mom, my sister from my mom, and then I got my little brother Nicholas and Kayla from 2 different ladies.
Nice. Okay, so how did you get involved with boxing? When did how old were you when you started getting interested in boxing?
I started boxing at the age of 14. I was in time of high school playing football. I was always in school fighting, getting in trouble, trying to be and helping everybody. And I just got in the right gym. I just started boxing. But when I started boxing, I was getting in trouble in school. So the guy that brought me to the gym, he had asked me, he's like, you want to spar? I was like, yeah, sure. And the next day I sparred with a cop. And I fell in love with the fact that they told me, they're like, oh, you're going to spar this cop. So I could hit him and get in no trouble. I was young, so I was just liked it. Like I was like, oh, it's going to be fun. And I just fell in love with it. And I kept doing it.
That's nice, man.
Yeah. What was what is the hardest part about getting into boxing? What was the hardest thing for you to get adjusted to? Was it the discipline far as the diet, or was it the discipline far as the exercise, anything like that?
Honestly, boxing's a way of life. I think the hardest part about boxing is the discipline with life. Like when your friends go out on the weekend, like there's no going out, there's no staying up late. You got to wake up early. Like I train 3 times a day. So my first workout's at 5 in the morning. I go for my runs, sometimes 3:30 in the morning. Then you got the boxing workout. Then you got to maintain your weight. So like everything with boxing is about life. Because if you're cheating in life, if you're doing the wrong things in life, your body's not going to be able to function. You're going to be able to train like a top athlete.
Who are some couple boxers that you look up to, or you like how they box, or you like their techniques, their defense?
I love Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones Jr., of course. And really, out of like today's time, I like Canelo Alvarez. I liked Floyd. Floyd was a good fighter too. And Floyd worked extremely hard.
Yeah, I feel like Floyd has definitely changed the sport of boxing. It definitely took a turn, and which is good. It's a good thing and a bad thing. For simple fact that some of the boxers coming up, they have to understand that Floyd put in work to get to where he is and the decisions that he can make. You know what I mean? So, but I was talking to Mojo the other day on the phone. And I said to him, in my opinion, I feel like boxing is one of the hardest sports to make it in, for simple fact that you have to, well, I don't know about your situation, but with most boxers, they have to spend money, tons of money. Like if they, to get involved with these fights, to get in training camps. And then
when I first came up, I was going to Mexico to fight, and I was paying $1,200 out of pocket just to fight. I wasn't making $1. I was paying to fight. Like, you don't get paid in them type of fights.
Wow. Yeah. $1,200 a boxing match?
And that was for 4-rounders. Like, that was because I was in the beginning of my career. Like I said, this was before I met Roy. I was fighting 4 rounds. In the beginning of your career, you fight 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12, like that. Boom. So for 4 rounds, it's $1,200 in Mexico, the place I was going to in Tijuana. Anything above 4 rounds, it goes from $1,500, 6 rounds. Then 8. Anything at an 8 round is automatic $2,000.
Is there anything? Is there
pay all that?
Yeah. Is there any difference in before we get to this, what she was talking about when we're talking about the Mayweather situation is that, you got a lot of fighters nowadays, Mayweather put in the work for him to be 50 or whatever it is. And right. But the thing is that Mayweather would fight the best fighters on the market when the market bared a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So he would normally average around maybe 1 to 2 fights a year. Nowadays, you got fighters who are probably 20 fights in and they're picking fights, and it's just cruel and unusual punishment to the sport. And then fighters like yourself that are trying to make a come up, because you got guys out there that are holding belts with 20 and 30 fights, acting like, I don't want to fight anyone right now, or no one's worthy of fighting me, when you've only fought 20 or 30 times. You haven't even crossed the cusp yet, like you.
And
that's like, go ahead. That's the last fight. Before December 11th, I had fought one of Miguel Cotto's fighters for the WBO interim world title. And in that, I was beating him from corner to corner. They took a point from him for holding everything. And at the end of the fight, they gave him a decision. He got the win. And after the fight, I told them, like, I want an immediate rematch. Like, I want my rematch. I know I want my rematch. I want my belt. Still to this day, they won't give me my rematch. And he hasn't even defended the belt. And I fought once. This is about to be my second fight. It's almost been 1.5 years that he hasn't fought, just sitting with a belt. Usually letting him just hold the belt, sit there with it, not fight or defend it.
So what is your current record now as we speak?
Right now, I'm 10-2 with 6 knockouts. So the fight before the world title fight for the WBO interim, I had fought this kid, Misa Lopez, for another belt at 5-0. And I dropped him in his hometown. And that video is on my Instagram. And they say he slipped and they gave him a decision.
Wow. So in this day and age with, you say 10-2, correct? With 6 knockouts?
Yeah.
Now with this new age boxing, like with new rules of how, people want to pick fights, and if they want to select people to fight, this is 2 losses. Is that, I don't want to say, is that a bad thing, but does that make it that much harder to?
Yeah, is it a hindrance on your resume?
Yes. Now,
sometimes it could be, but in my situation, it's really not that bad because I never took punishment, and the world knows, like, I didn't lose these fights. Like, the first one I dropped in his hometown, the second one I dropped, they took a point. So it's like the world knows I didn't lose these fights. You get fighters that get built up 20-0, 25-0, and they fight taxi drivers their whole career. They fight one good fight and get knocked out. Right. I never had that problem. Like, coming into my career at 5-0, I fought for my first title. Going into my 11th fight, I fought for my second fight, my second title. I fought for 2 titles before I had 12 fights. No fighter does that. Every fighter wants to take the safe route, build himself up, make it look pretty. I believe in my craft and my hard work. I know I don't need that. Right now, I just don't. I'm not signed yet. I ain't have the right side of politics on my side yet.
What do you mean by the right side of politics? For those
like,
who don't know,
if you're a signed fighter, and say I get a call to fight on a card, and it's ESPN or whoever's card it is, and they have a fighter that they want you to fight, and you go the distance with their fighter. It's a close fight, or maybe it was a good fight, but you might have outdid him a little more. If you don't knock him out, you're not getting that decision.
Wow. Even if you threw more punches and landed more punches, if you don't knock him out,
you got to remember that's their network. That's their TV time. Whatever network it's on, that's their fighter. That's who they're invested in. They're not gonna let you ruin it.
So what does that mean to you as a fighter coming up in the game, knowing these politics, knowing you have to come out of pocket? You know what I mean? Like, how do you?
I feel like it just makes my story greater. Like, I feel like I just gotta go that much harder because I know what it is. I know how the industry is, and I know in order for me to really, really show who I am, I gotta just find a way to just not let that happen.
Either you got good luck or you just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Because you said, with the whole side of politics. I mean, a lot of people gonna watch this interview and say you might be on the right side of politics. I mean, you got 2 title fights before you even had 12 fights altogether on the resume. That ain't easy. A lot of people be out here, they be 13 fights in or 15, 20 fights in before they even get the chance to their first belt.
You know the problem? A lot of things you see are like smoke and mirrors. Like, these fighters will complain, "Oh, I can't get a title shot. I can't get this. I can't get that." This is not like when Floyd fought. Even Floyd said it. Nowadays, there's so many belts. Anybody can get a title shot. These fighters are just so scared to take a chance. They're scared to take a risk. They're scared to fight another fighter that's gonna punch back. So that's why they can't get a title fight, because they want to be able to sit back and be like, "I want to fight that guy," but you can't fight that guy. You got to fight somebody that's ranked in the organization of that belt, or you got to be promoted by somebody that could get you to that spot. And a lot of these fighters, they see that and they don't want to take it. So they rather say, "Oh, I can't get a title fight. I'm not there yet. I can't get it." How can you not get one? I fought for one at my 5th fight. I fought for one at my 12th fight. You could get one. Roll the dice and stop being scary. Take a chance. Floyd been fighting for titles because he took chances.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, like I said, a lot of people, nowadays, especially title holders, they're all pretty much holding on to the belt and they're not really fighting. They're picking fights. And it's not like I said, when Floyd would just pick the best fighter out there, they won't even take the best fighter. Like, we're going to be having, it'll be several Floyd and Pacquiao situations going on from here on out. Like, we got plenty of people we want to see fight that will never see the ring together, just due to pride and, like you said, not wanting to, play along the game with politics. Another thing I want to ask you about.
You know who I like?
No, go ahead. Who?
I've been saying it for years, Earl Spence Jr. Even look how he got his title. He went all the way to the UK and took his title.
Yeah.
He didn't wait for nobody to come give him a title shot. He went out there, took it, then came out here. He had his accident, and he could have took an easy tune-up fight. He fought Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a hard fight to fight.
Yep.
And then the last fight he just had, right?
Yeah, and he made both them fights look easy, back to back, made them look easy. That's what I'm saying. Being a fighter, you got to be willing to roll the dice and take a chance. You take a chance and God's on your side, you're gonna be good.
Where do you stand with all the Instagram fighters and all the not even just Instagram, all the social media fighters, YouTube fighters and everything, all the people that are doing all the training and everything like that online with the videos, but when it comes to seeing them in the ring, their resume ain't there.
And also to add to it, to piggyback off what Mojo is saying, like with the social media or YouTube fighters, as a spectator, some may feel it brings excitement to the sport because before then it wasn't really that much excitement, due to
fighters not
exactly fighting. Because fighters want to hold their belt. You won't really see them on Instagram. They're not really doing anything to be active. But when you got these YouTube fighters, they're making the fight interesting. And it's like people will rather go pay to sit in the seat to go see a YouTube fight versus an actual real fighter like yourself who's training 3 times a day. I can't even eat today because I got to make weight. I got to be in the gym to train this hard. But so did you ever see that this happening? And like Mojo was saying, like, how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. Like I was asked about it before. I feel like as long as these guys are working hard, like a lot of these other YouTubers, they don't work hard. But the one that caught my eye, Jake Paul, like he works extremely hard. And I know people that see him train. I know people that trained with him. So I know he works hard. And I know
but not to cut you off, but we're talking about, like, let's just say Blueface fought a YouTuber. I don't even know the YouTuber name.
Yeah,
Blueface, and it was a couple other YouTubers that fought like people in the game. Like, what do you feel not about Jake Paul? Because we know like Jake and Logan, like that's a different bag. But we're talking about like just regular YouTubers sparking up
Aiden Ross,
a boxing fight, and people willing to show out for that. Like, yes, this is what we want to see.
I mean, if they're only going to do it for fun and they're not going to take it serious and really try to make a career out of it, I feel like it shouldn't be allowed. Like, I can't go walk in the Knicks and be like, I want to play in the NBA today. Fact. And you ain't going to cut me $1 million check to do it. So why should they be able to come in and do it? And if they are going to come in and do it, they should have to fight real fighters.
And they getting like thriller deals.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
They're getting deals, man.
I enjoyed the Lamar Odom fight. I think what was it? Who was it? Nate Robinson that got knocked out by Paul. I liked that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stuff like that, unfortunately.
People were paying like $10,000.
Yeah, that's what it's come to.
So but yeah, so like, yeah, you spoke on that. You basically saying like, hey, is they going to take it? But they're not taking it seriously. Why would a YouTuber want to be a fighter? If I can just come in every once in a while and get an easy bag, I'll do it. I want to eat what I want to eat. I want to do what I want to do and make the money. That's how they feel about it, man.
Get a money training in, we good.
But so speak to me about your ESPN fight, because a lot of people don't get the opportunity. There's some fighters 20-0 who will never see an ESPN fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they strive for. Boy. So what was that like for you?
It was real cool. Like, it was something different because I fought on DAZN before. I fought on Showtime. But growing up, you always watch ESPN, you watch football, you watch all these sports. So I felt like that was cool. Like, that was different. And it was in my home. It was in my city in Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Now, are you sponsored by anybody or anything?
So basically, like, the way sponsorships work, it's really like a fight deal. Like, basically every fight you get different sponsors, or sometimes they'll come back and they want you to sponsor them again. Like, put them on their shorts. But I don't got no Nike or no.
So how would it work if for average company, let's just say we wanted to, like, your fight next month, we're like, yo, we want you to put TwistedYounginz on your boxing shorts or whatever on your t-shirt. Like, how would that work?
Like, with that type of stuff, like, they'll basically, like, you can either do like a social media sponsorship. You could do a patch sponsorship where, like, you put their logo on your shorts and you give them your price, and that's how that works, like that.
Now, when we get, say you give us a quote for a patch on the shorts, now, is this going to be based off of, is it going to be a yearly thing, or is it a fight basis type of situation where it's, this is only
it usually goes off of like a fight kind of deal, because you never know what opportunities are going to come after the next fight. But then again, like, each fight is different. So, like, if I'm fighting on a Madison Square Garden card on the ESPN, the price is going to be bigger. Yep. But if it's on, like, a card that's not so big, the price could dumb down a little bit, like that,
Well, I mean, what if it's like say we do a deal right now. I want, we get it in, you give us a deal, we do 5 fights, right? And this is not including the one, coming up. But out of those 5 fights, little do we know your schedule's gonna change and some things gonna happen, some people gonna fall out and some new things gonna open up. And next thing you know, out of those 5 fights, 3 of them are 2 are ESPN, 1 is on DAZN. You know what I'm saying? That changes the deal, but we've already inked the deal, set and dry. How would you deal with a situation like that?
I'm solid. I keep shit 100. If we make a deal and this is the deal from the start, then that's the deal to the end. I don't do well, before we signed that deal, I didn't know this was gonna happen. So now, I stick to. I'm big on loyalty and respect. If you don't got that, then I can't do nothing with you.
Nah, man,
we don't got loyalty and respect. I can't do nothing with you.
And I told Myra that what we're talking about right now. I told Myra this is what needs to happen. Unfortunately, I'm all for the athletes getting paid, but in your industry that you're in right now, especially with the parity far as what you had talked about with the ESPN and politics and everything like that, not just them, but politics and sports in general. I'm all for sponsorship, giving out fights based, giving out contracts, fight basis. Like you said, like not the whole Nike, we're going to sign you for the rest of the year. Because I said, why would I sign you for a year and you only fight twice a year? Like, I don't want to sign you. I don't want to sign you for no year. So I feel like that's how it should be. I think this is one way to encourage athletes to continue to fight, is that you need those sponsorships. Because other than the fight that you're actually fighting for, you're not getting paid because there's no sponsorships to get paid from. So
correct. So you have a fight coming up. Let's talk about that. Who's your opponent?
Right now they're working on a few opponents. They gave me a few names, and I said yes to every single one of them. I said whichever one the commission will accept, I'll take any of them.
Okay, cool. So how long? So you told us you've been training. You're amped up. You're pumped for this fight. So, what? And you said it's in Queens?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Queens, New York.
What is your preparation for the fight? Since like you said, you were training today and everything like that. What is the basic preparation as far as going into a fight? Do you start with like you said, start obviously with the CrossFit, far as jogging and everything like that, treadmill. But what is the sparring techniques and stuff like that? Do you have specific things you want to do when you hit the bag? Are you hitting specific areas? Are you looking for combinations that you're working on? Or are you just working on endurance?
What's your specialty and strong suit?
Yeah, every day is different. Like you'll go in the gym one day and coach might want you to work on this technique, or the next day you might go in there and you might just work on your jab. Some days you work on your footwork. So it's all different. It depends on like me. What I like to do is I call it like a toolbox. I got a little box with a box full of fighters and the name like Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and a few other fighters I like. And what I do is I put all their names in a box and I look at what they're good at and I look at what they're bad at. And I take what I like out of their styles and I mix it and make it into my own craft, like that.
Great, man.
And so that's what's up.
I always want to ask a fighter this. So before I ask you this, what's the longest rounds you ever fought in? 8 rounds, 12 rounds, 4 rounds?
Rounds.
What was it? I'm sorry.
10 rounds.
10 rounds. Okay. So what do you do in a situation, or have you ever been in a situation like what's the mind frame like, man? Because I feel like you can be the best fighter, but if you get gassed out in the 5th or 6th round, like that other person can easily take it when you have nothing left. Like what will keep you going when you're in a situation like that?
Honestly, like what keeps me going when I fight, I just think of the fact that there's another man across that ring that could really, really hurt you. And that just don't sit right with me. Like knowing that somebody's trying to knock my head off, it just never sat right with me. Like I can't imagine it. Like that's why I work so hard. I won't allow myself to get tired. And even if I did get physically tired, I just got too much will to let you sit there and punch on me. Like that's never gonna happen ever.
Yeah, I feel like boxing is definitely a mental sport.
I don't
Like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Drink, party, none of that. It's gonna be hard for me to gas out. I don't smoke, drink, party.
Oh, okay, cool. So you don't drink, you don't smoke. You're great. That's good. You're taking care of your body, man. That is great.
Yeah. While we on that, what is your diet like? What is your diet like? Like, what's your morning diet or anything like that? Like, what's some of the things that you get into as soon as you get up out the bed? What's your morning routine?
So my morning routine, if I'm not up at like 3:30 in the morning, 5 going for my run, and I'm awake, I'll sit there, read a few pages out of one of my books, or I'll just watch boxing. Because even if I'm running and training or doing something to work out in the morning, I like to just keep my mind going, like learn how to either watch videos about being a millionaire or watch boxing. I just like to watch a lot of successful things because I feel like you get what you put into the world. So if I constantly read successful people, watch successful people, I'm going to be a successful person.
Facts.
Absolutely. Your attitude towards life will change, life's attitudes towards
right now. I'm reading books right now. I'm reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'm also reading Think and Grow Rich.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice, brother. Man. So I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
But people need to see that to know that you are reading. A lot of people don't like to read these days.
You are putting that work in. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I love to read. I love to write. I'm actually working on writing my own book too. It's going to be called Truth Unfolds. I already started writing it and everything.
What is the book going to be about?
Really going to be about my life, and it's going to be about my life, how I grew up, things that I did to make a way for my career, and just stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know, like coming up, when I first went to Floyd's gym and I met Floyd and them, a lot of people don't know, like when I went out there, I was sleeping in public bathrooms in the Palms Casino. Every night, what I would do is I would go in the Palms Casino by the, where they do the sports betting, and they had a bathroom, one stall in it. And I would go in there, lock the door, and I would put tissue on the floor, and I would sleep on the marble floor. I would wake up in the morning, wash my face in the sink, dry my body out the little hand dryer thing. And I would go to Floyd's gym, train. Floyd had a shower there. I would train, shower, boom, leave. And I would just walk around Vegas all day long until it got dark and I got tired. And I went and I would sleep either in the casinos, behind garbage, like wherever I could just rest my head. And that's how really I made my name. Everybody was like, where's this kid from? How's he doing this? Like,
if you don't mind me asking, how did you become homeless?
My mother had got hurt. She was working, and my mom, at first my mom worked for stockbroking, and then she got laid off around that time where everybody was getting laid off. But my mom had got off a New York City bus, and she fell in a hole, like getting off the bus. And so she couldn't work. She couldn't pay the rent. We lost the house. And when we lost the house, my mom and them went to the shelter. But me as a man, I could never live off the system. Like, I don't want to live off the system. If I can't do it for myself, I don't want it. I'm very prideful of just everything I do as a man. So I told my mom and my family, I said, look, I'm going to save money and I'm going to go to Vegas. So what I did was I was working, doing my little P's and Q's, making my money, boom. I bought a one-way ticket to Vegas, and I told myself I'm not coming back till I build a name for myself. And that's what I did. Now I dropped 2021.
All right.
I'm on my feet. I ain't rich yet, but I'm on my way.
Hey, do you believe in God?
Oh, yeah, I believe in God. On my chest, I got Psalms 23. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for he is with me.
That's good, man.
Absolutely, man. For you to keep the faith.
You can do a lot.
You say what now?
You can do a lot with God. You can't do it on your own.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I wish a lot more people think the way you think. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't.
They don't believe.
They don't believe in God, and they may believe in God, and they may feel like they can do it without God, but they got to realize he is the creator. If you see a painting, a creator created that painting. Like, so we have a creator, we have a maker.
Yeah, you can dream your painting and paint your dream.
Yeah, if you don't believe in God, God will I feel like if you don't believe in God, like God don't make people suffer, but I feel like he'll let you go as far as you think you could go without him. And when you're ready to really break and quit and it hurts and you can't take no more, until you cry out for his name, he ain't gonna come. It says it in the Bible. It says, if you come looking for me, you shall find me. But if you don't look, you ain't seeking, you ain't gonna find him.
Amen. Yes, sir, man. Well,
yeah, that's where the whole closed mouths don't get fed type of situation.
Yeah.
You know.
We want to wish you good luck with everything, man. Good luck on your fight. I wish we could have made the fight. You know what I mean? That would have been dope for us to come out there to Queens and see a fight, man. But maybe we can catch the next fight. So we'll definitely keep in touch with you, man. Good luck with everything, and keep going on this journey, man. This is a hard journey that you're going on. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people don't make it through this journey. So just keep up the fight. Keep God first. Seriously.
Yeah. A lot of people believe in God until, it's time that you actually, put up where it's at, until you actually test it and your faith is put on the line. You really don't know how much you believe. Like you said, you out there in Las Vegas, you homeless and stuff like that. That's your back against the wall. You got no choice but to believe. You've got nothing else to rely on, so those situations make people what they are. Have a beautiful, blessed day though, brother. And we'll keep in contact with you, man. Good luck on your fight and everything you got going in the future, man. And take it easy out here, brother.
Likewise, bro. God bless you guys. Keep
God bless you too.